What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to a new video, and I finally got it. After playing for 2 days straight without getting off, I finally got the Sunken fishy rod. And now that I have it, I want to do a comparison video with it. And the two fishy rods I'm going to compare today is the Trident fishy rod with the Sunken fishy rod. So the stats on the Trident fishy rod, we do have a lure speed of 20%, a luck of 150%, a control of 0, a resilience of 0%, and a max kilograms of 6,000. And it does cost a decent amount of money. You do have to have $150,000 to buy this fishy rod. But in total, you do need to have $205,000 because you need 5 relics to open the door. Now, there is a few ways you could get free relics, but the fastest way to get them is by buying them from Merlin. And every time you want to buy relics from Merlin, they will always cost you $11,000 each. But besides having great stats, the Trident fishy rod does have 2 passives. The first passive it does have is called Atlantean Mutation. And every time you catch a fish with the Trident fishy rod, it does have a 30% chance of having the Atlantean Mutation. And this mutation is really good. You can sell it for 3 times the value. And the way you know you call an Atlantean Mutation, it has a turquoise color to it. And the second one, which in my opinion I think is the best passive in the game, is the stabbing effect. And what the stabbing effect does, it pretty much stuns the fish, so it helps you catch it even faster. And this passive is very good when trying to catch mythical fishes that are really tough. And you know those fishes that have like a -60, -70% progress speed, this fishy rod is really good against them. And even though the Trident fishy rod has a 0 resilience and 0 control, the stabbing effect really carries it. Now when it comes to the Sunken fishy rod, it does have a lure speed of 30%, a luck of 150%, a control of 0.15, a resilience of 10%, and a max weight of 5,000 kilograms. And this fishy rod only has 1 passive compared to the Trident rod that has 2. The passive for the Sunken fishy rod, every time you catch a fish, it has a 5% chance of having the Sunken Mutation. And I'm gonna be honest, at first, I thought the Sunken Mutation wasn't that good, but then I looked more into it and it gives you a 4 times increase in price. And if you were to get the Sunken Mutation on a fish, it would make their price even higher. So besides having good stats, the mutation is also really good. So when you compare both fishy rods, the Sunken fishy rod has a higher lure speed, the same luck, higher control, higher resilience, and lower weight. And the weight is lower by 1,000 kilograms, which is not really a difference. In order to get the Sunken fishy rod, you do have to complete a bunch of treasure maps. I guess you could say it's not really free because to repair the treasure map, you do have to pay $450 every time. But you do get some decent rewards if you do not get the Sunken fishy rod. For example, some people actually use the treasure maps to get Aurora totems. To get the Aurora totem from the treasure maps, it does have the same rarity as the Sunken fishy rod. If you are interested in getting the Sunken fishy rod, I did make a guide on how to get treasure maps really fast. So if you want, check that out and maybe it'll help you. Now to get the Trident rod, it's going to take you way more effort. To unlock the Trident rod, you do have to get the 5 relics and also have 100% best share done in the Desolate Deep. Now if you want and you do not have 100% completion, you could get a friend to open the door for you so you could buy the Trident fishy rod. But this friend also has to have the 100% best share done. You pretty much give the 5 relics to your friend to open the door and you go inside with $150,000 and buy the Trident fishy rod. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this fishy rod to different places where you can make money. And I want you guys to see, is it worth buying one or the other? Now the enchantment I'm gonna be using on both of them is Hasty. With the Sunken fishy rod, we do have a lure speed of 30%. And when you put Hasty on it, it'll increase it to 85%. So any bait with a lure speed of 20% or more will give us instant catch. And with the Trident fishy rod, I'm also going to be using Hasty on it to give it a fair comparison. And the Trident fishy rod does have a lower lure speed. It is at 20%. So with Hasty, it'll go from 20% to 75%. Now because it is 75%, trying to get instant catch might be a little bit tricky. I do want to use the same bait for both of them. I don't really want to use Rapid Catcher. So I think to give it a fair comparison for this video, I'm going to use the same exact bait for both of them. And also for this video, I am not using Merlin's luck, but if you want, you could buy it. Merlin's luck is pretty cheap. It only costs $5,000 for every 10 minutes. And it also gives you a 30% luck boost, and it is very well worth it. Normally, when I make these comparison videos, I go to multiple locations to show you how much money you can make. And for this video, I will not be going to the Ancient Isle. And the main reason I'm not going to go here to make money is because you can't catch the Mosasaurus with either fishing rod. The lowest weight I've ever seen of the Mosasaurus was like 5,800 kilograms. Now, trying to get a Mosasaurus that small is really rare. If you were to use a bigger fishing rod, you usually catch them at around 9,000 to 10,000 kilograms. And if you guys do remember, the Trident fishing rod only goes up to 6,000 kilograms and the Sunken fishing rod goes up to 5,000 kilograms. And as you can see, neither fishing rod can really catch it consistently, so it's not really worth going there in my opinion, of course. I mean, yeah, if you want to fish there, you could catch a lot of colossal squids because both fishing rods do have 150% luck. But the Mosasaurus really helps you make the most amount of money because it's a massive fish. And the first place I'm gonna go to which anybody could go to, is going to be the Forsaken Shore. And at the Forsaken Shore, we're going to be fishing for the Captain Goldfish. Now, the bait I'm going to be using for both fishing rods is going to be the coral bait. The coral bait does give you a resilience of 20% and alert speed of 20%. So with this bait, it will give us instant catch with the Sunken fishing rod. And I'm going to be honest, getting this bait could be very expensive. The way you get coral bait is by buying coral geodes, and they do cost $600 each. Now, if you do not have the money to buy them, you could use seaweed as an alternative. Seaweed does have a resilience of 10%, alert speed of 20%. So with seaweed, you should also be getting instant catch with the Sunken fishing rod. And you could get seaweed from the quality bait crates and even the regular bait crates. But of course, if you do run out of seaweed, you could use rapid catcher or bagels. Now, when using the Sunken fishing rod at the Captain Goldfish, I was making on average $92,000 an hour. And I think I really got unlucky while fishing here because every single fish I caught that was sunken was the cheapest one. So if I made like even 1 or 2 Captain Goldfish every hour sunken, I would have made way more money. So if you are using Mother's Luck, it would not surprise me if you make well over $100,000 an hour here. Now, when using the Trident fishing rod, on average, I was making $114,000 an hour. And as you can see, it made even more money compared to the Sunken fishing rod. Now, because I was using coral bait and not rapid catcher, I was not getting instant catch. But since I'm using coral as bait, I was getting better resilience, so I was not struggling as much. So if you want, you could use Mother's Luck and use rapid catcher. But let me just remind you, when using rapid catcher, the fish is going to resist even more. But since you are using rapid catcher and assuming you don't fail any fish, you should make way more money. But you know what? I like using coral or seaweed to have an easier time. Now, if you do want to challenge yourself, you could unlock the depths to make even more money. In order to unlock the depths, you do have to get the depths key and also get 100% best cherry and vertigo. And since you have the Trident rod or the Sunken fishing rod, you could unlock the depths pretty easily. Before we start fishing, the bait I'm going to be using for both fishing rods is going to be fish head. And the main reason I'm going to be using fish head is because both mythical fishes in the depths do prefer this bait. And the stats on the fish head is a preferred luck of 150%, a resilience of -10%, and alert speed of 10%. So because we are using this bait, our luck is going to increase all the way up to 300%. And to get fish heads, you could get it from quality bait crates and even regular bait crates. So while fishing in the depths with the Sunken fishing rod, on average, I was making $239,000 an hour. And I'm going to be honest, I was really surprised I was making this much money with it. And remember, to get this fishing rod, it is really cheap to get. It just takes a little bit grinding. And I'm going to be honest, if I was a solo player and nobody could help me, I would definitely get this fishing rod first. But of course, I also use a Trident fishing rod here, and with the Trident fishing rod, on average, I was making $298,000 an hour. And as you can see, I was making way more money, but remember, it does have some requirements to get the Trident fishing rod. But in the end, I was happy with both fishing rods because they are both really good to use. And besides using them to get money, you could use them to help you unlock all the best cherries. And yeah, that is pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think about this video and which fishing rod you're going to be going with. But that is all I got for today. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.